My life was a carefully built structure, held together by routine and Luna. She was more than a dog. She was my legs, my eyes, my independence. We moved through the world as one. I remember the quiet confidence she gave me every morning. She was an extension of myself, my pathway to a life of dignity and autonomy. Our bond felt unbreakable. Then, small things started. Luna would stumble a little or seem tired after a short walk. I brushed it off. She was getting older, I thought, just a bit stiff. My heart ached at the thought of her slowing down, but I told myself it was normal. I didn't want to believe anything was truly wrong. My sister, Sarah, visited that week. Her visits always felt like a test I didn't know I was taking. She'd watch Luna with a strange intensity. "She seems a bit off, doesn't she?" Sarah remarked, her voice too casual. A familiar knot tightened in my stomach. I just wanted to protect Luna from her gaze, from her judgment. A few days later, Luna collapsed trying to retrieve my keys. Not just a stumble, a full collapse. Panic flared in my chest. This wasn't age. This was serious. My carefully built world felt like it was cracking. The thought of Luna being truly ill and me losing her assistance was terrifying. I rushed Luna to the vet. They ran tests, but everything came back inconclusive. The vet looked apologetic. "We just don't see anything obvious, Maya." My frustration grew. How could my lifeline be failing and no one knew why? I felt a desperate need for answers, for a way to fix her. Sarah came over, concerned. "Are you sure you're not overworking her, Maya? Maybe she just needs a break from everything." Her words felt like a subtle accusation. I felt a wave of doubt, then anger. I knew Luna better than anyone. This wasn't my fault, I told myself, but the seed of unease was planted. With Luna struggling, my world shrank. Simple tasks became huge obstacles. I couldn't go out alone. I felt trapped, isolated. The independence Luna had given me was slipping away, leaving me vulnerable and afraid. I hated having to rely on others again, hated feeling helpless. I overheard Sarah on the phone. She was talking about getting what she deserved and a permanent solution. She quickly hung up when she saw me. A chill ran down my spine. It was probably nothing, but the words echoed in my mind, linking to Luna's mystery. A tiny flicker of suspicion ignited. Luna's breathing became shallow. She wouldn't eat. We were back at the emergency vet. This time, the vet's face was grim. "There's a foreign substance in her system, Maya. Something deliberately introduced." My blood ran cold. Deliberately, not age, not an accident. My heart pounded with a mix of terror and dawning horror. My heart shattered, then hardened. Someone had done this to Luna, to us. My beloved companion, my lifeline, was suffering because of malicious intent. I held Luna's paw, tears streaming down my face. I vowed then, with every fiber of my being, I would find out who did this. I would uncover the truth, no matter how painful it might be. I made a silent promise to Luna. My heart ached for her, but my mind was clear and focused. I started looking at everything with new eyes. Luna's routine, her food, even the little treats she got. I went over every detail in my head, searching for anything out of place. I knew someone had done this, and I had to find out who. This was the first step in reclaiming our lives. I found Dr. Evans, a specialist online. He listened patiently as I explained Luna's symptoms and my growing suspicions. He sounded cautious, mentioning how rare such deliberate acts were. But I told him about the foreign substance the emergency vet found. I felt a small flicker of hope that he might believe me, that someone would finally take my fears seriously and help me understand what was happening. A memory surfaced, cold and clear, from months ago. Sarah had once accidentally left the garden gate open, knowing Luna couldn't navigate traffic alone. She'd laughed it off when I found Luna wandering near the road, saying I was too protective. I remembered the fear I felt then, and how Sarah's eyes had held a strange, almost gleeful look. It made my stomach twist now, connecting the dots. I decided to install a small camera just to be sure. I felt a knot of guilt, but it was for Luna. Days turned into nights as I reviewed the footage. Then I saw it. Sarah, slipping something into Luna's water bowl when she thought I wasn't looking. A tiny, almost invisible packet. My breath caught in my throat. The footage was undeniable, sickeningly clear. The video played again and again in my mind. My own sister. My mind reeled. The grief for Luna mixed with a burning rage I'd never known. How could she? The betrayal felt like a physical blow. I sat there, numb, the world around me fading. My sister had deliberately tried to destroy my life, using Luna as her weapon, and I couldn't comprehend such cruelty. The numbness gave way to a fierce resolve. I started documenting everything. Dates, times, the video footage, Luna's vet reports, every piece of the puzzle. My hands shook, but I kept going. This wasn't just about Luna anymore. It was about exposing the monster hiding behind my sister's face. I began to form a plan, cold and precise, for what I would do next. I invited Sarah over, my voice carefully neutral. When she arrived, I played the video for her. Her smile vanished. Her eyes narrowed. "That's doctored," she spat, her voice tight with anger. She tried to gaslight me, saying I was imagining things, that I was crazy. But I stood firm. Her denial only showed me her true, venomous nature, solidifying my resolve. I left Sarah's house feeling sick but resolute. My next call was to a lawyer, then to an animal advocacy group. I explained everything, my voice steady despite the tremor in my hands. I wasn't just seeking justice for Luna. I wanted the world to know what Sarah had done. This wasn't a private family matter anymore. It was a crime that needed to be exposed publicly. Luna might never be my service animal again, but she was still my beloved companion. I committed to her rehabilitation, to making her comfortable and happy. We spent hours together, me reading to her, gently petting her. Our bond, forged in fire, was stronger than ever. She was my reason for fighting, my anchor in a world that had suddenly turned dark. The time for silence was over. I prepared to tell my story, to share the evidence with everyone. It would be painful but necessary. I would reclaim my shattered dignity. Sarah had tried to break me, but she had only made me stronger. I would ensure her treachery was known, and I would exact a devastating, public revenge, not out of malice, but for justice and for Luna to finally be free.